as you know that we have started art and culture series. Okay, in the last class or previous class, we discussed about the art and architecture of IIBS people. Okay, in today's class we will discuss about Mauryans art and architecture, as well as we will see post-Mauryans art and architecture. Okay, then if I talk about the Mauryans art, then Mauryans art can be classified into two types. Okay, one is court art. Court art is nothing but it is an initiative of the court initiative, king, not personally, as a whole. Okay, so in court art we have a palaces, we have pillars, and we have a stupa. Then popular art, individual art, the art at individual level. Okay, so that we have caves, we have potteries, as well as we have sculptures. Stupa is a court art. Okay, and sculptures is a popular art. Okay, then we will discuss one by one palaces. Remember, regarding the palaces of Mauryans, it is not that much complex or not that much grand palaces as compared to the Achaemenian or Persian. Okay, Persian palaces. So here, if I talk about the palaces during Mauryans time. So it is influence from the Iranian king at that time. Okay, or I can say that the Mauryans palaces has inspired from Persian palaces. That is there. Okay, we will discuss in pillars also. There are a lot of similarities between the Ashoka pillar as well as the Persian pillars. Okay, so in short, during Mauryans period, even the palaces also have influence from the Persian palaces. How we got to know? There was even Greek historians whose name was Megasthenes. He has written one book, Indica. Okay, he has written one book, Indica. In that book, he mentioned about the society during the Mauryans period. Okay, the politics during the Mauryans period, the economics during the Mauryans period, as well as he mentioned about the palaces, architecture during the Mauryans period. In that architecture, he also discussed about the palaces. How was the palaces during Mauryans period? He discussed in that Indica book. Who discussed? Megasthenes. Who was Megasthenes? He was a Greek historian who was in the courtman of Chandragupta Maurya. I hope you remember who is Chandragupta Maurya, grandfather of Ashoka. And Chandragupta Maurya is the founder of Mauryan dynasty. Okay. So he has mentioned, Megasthenes has mentioned or described the palaces of the Mauryans. Okay, he described that Mauryans palaces as the greatest creation of mankind, according to him. Even the Chinese traveler Fahin also visited during Gupta's time. There is one Chinese traveler, he also visited to India during Gupta's time. Okay, so he also mentioned about the palaces of the Mauryans, and he described the palaces of the Mauryans as a God-gifted monuments. Okay, so these are the two travelers, foreign travelers, who mentioned about the palaces of the Mauryans in their books. Okay, and Mauryans palaces, they are having the influence of the Persian palaces, especially the Chandragupta palace. So there is one palace. Okay, Achaemenid palaces. It is one of the place in the Iran. At that time it was called Persia. Okay, so these Chandragupta Maurya palaces were inspired from the palaces which are there in Iran. And material, if I talk about the material, wood was the principal material rather than stone, different types of stones or other iron or steel. The palaces were made up of the wood. Okay, so wood was the principal material which were used for construction of the palaces. Example, we have Patliputra. I hope you know Patliputra. Present day it is called Patna. So Patna, ancient name is Patliputra. There we can find Mauryan, this Chandragupta palace. And Ashoka palace at Kumrahar. Kumrahar, it is a place in North India. There also we can find the palaces of Ashoka. Okay, those were made up of wood. So this is about the palaces during Mauryans time. Then pillars, very important. Okay, very important concept from Mauryans art, pillar, especially the Ashokan pillar. Okay, so if we talk about the pillars during the Mauryans time, what was the use of the pillars? Okay, so generally Ashoka pillars or the pillars during the Mauryans time, they use for two purpose. They use for two purpose. One, order of the court. Order of the court. Present we have social media, we have newspaper, right? We have website, government website. If government make any law or order, the government can put it in their website or newspaper or through Gazette of India. That is there. But at that time those facilities were not available. So during Mauryans time, they used pillar, okay, for order of the court. Apart from that, for Dhamma ideology also. As you know, Ashoka, he adopted the Buddhism, right? Upagupta was a Buddhist monk. Okay, because of him, Ashoka has converted into Buddhism. Okay, and to elaborate the Dhamma of the Buddhism, and the Dhamma of the Buddhism should known to the people, or to spread the ideology of the Dhamma. Plus, okay, the Dhamma of the Ashoka himself. Buddhist Dhamma is different. Okay, Ashoka Dhamma is different, right? To propagate this ideology among the laymen or among the people, okay, they have used the pillars. Understood? So pillars were used for two purposes. One is to spread the ideology and another is to court order. People should know about court order, right? So that was the purpose. And Ashokan pillars are there, right? Mainly they have written in Pali and Prakritic language. Pali and Prakritic language. Pali was the language used by the Buddha. Okay. And Prakritic was very popular language during that time. So pillars of the Ashokan. Okay. There we can find two languages, Pali and Prakritic. But there are certain pillars of Ashoka which were found in the northwest part of India. Not present India, at that time India. Northwest part of India, especially the Kandahar region. Taxila it is in Pakistan. Kandahar it is in Afghanistan. Right? At that time that was also a part of kingdom or part of Mauryans empire. That region also. In that region, the inscriptions or the language which is used in the Ashokan pillar was the Greek or Aramic language. Greek language also they have used, Aramic language also they have used in the Ashokan pillar. Okay. Then structure. If I talk about the structure of the Ashokan pillar, generally the pillar of the Ashoka is having four components. Okay. Shaft, capital, abacus, capital figure. Shaft, capital, abacus and capital figure. I'll show you in the picture. Let's check. See, this is an Ashokan pillar. Okay, Sarnath pillar. I hope you know Sarnath, Deer Park. It is in near Varanasi. Their Ashokan pillar was there, right? So this is also our national emblem. Sarnath pillar of Ashoka. Here if you observe, the height is 60 feet tall, okay? In picture it is, small. So here if you observe, this is a shaft. This is a shaft. Okay. Shaft of a pillar. It is made up of a single stone. It is a monolith. Okay. And it is made up of a single stone only. Got it? Above that shaft we have a capital. So this capital, it is in a two shape. Either it is a inverted lotus shape or a bell shape. This is inverted lotus. You can see. Either it is an inverted lotus shape or a bell shape. Above capital we have a abacus. Abacus. So this abacus is also having two shape. Either it is a circular shape or either it is a rectangular shape. Abacus. Above abacus we have a capital figure. Above abacus we have capital figure. So this is the structure of the Ashokan pillar. It is divided into 4 components: shaft, capital, abacus, then capital figure. Shaft, single stone, especially the red sandstone or chunar stone. Red sandstone or chunar stone, that is there. And this capital, it is of 2 shape. Either it is a bell shape or a inverted lotus. Abacus is also 2 shape. Either it is a circular shape or rectangular shape. Above that we have a capital animal. So don't think that only lions are present. Bulls were also there, elephant were also there. But in Sarnath pillar, which is our national emblem, here it is a 4 lions. Here it is 4 lions. Understood? So this is the structure of Ashokan pillar. Okay. Now we will discuss about our national emblem, that is Sarnath pillar. Similar, in that Sarnath pillar it is a shaft which is made up of a single stone, a red sandstone or chunar stone, which is abundantly available in western part of Uttar Pradesh. Okay, or Purvanchal region of Uttar Pradesh and western part of Bihar also. That is there. Above that we have a inverted lotus in the national emblem, Sarnath pillar of Ashoka. Above that we have a circular abacus. Above that what we have? Circular abacus, right? So here in that abacus, it is having 4 animals in 4 direction. 4 animals in 4 direction. North lion, south horse, east elephant, west bull. East elephant and west bull. So these are the 4 animals which are present in the circular abacus of our national emblem. 4 animals are there. So technically if you observe, how many lions are there in our national emblem? 5. In abacus also lion is present. Got it? And at the center we have a chakra. Ashoka chakra. Okay. This is about Buddhist life event, the Dharma Chakra Pravartana. This is a symbol of this chakra. When Buddha, after enlightenment, after got nirvana, in the deer park, he delivered his first sermon. Okay, he delivered. So that is the symbol of that first sermon of Buddha, that is Dharma Chakra Pravartana. Symbol is spoke wheels, which is present in the Ashoka chakra, and it is at the center. Then above this circular abacus we have a 4 lions at 4 direction: east, west, north and south. So this is the description of what? Sarnath pillar of Ashoka. Understood? Any doubt? Okay. So this is the structure of Ashoka pillar. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that capital animal was there, right? It is not only lions. There were many animals in many sites. Sarnath we have a 4 lions. Sarnath we have 4 lions. Single lions are also present in the Ashoka pillar, where Basara, Bakhira, Laurya, Nandangad, Rampurva, Vaishali. Elephants were also present in Sankisa pillar, and bull were present in Rampurva. Okay, lions were present, elephant were present, even the bulls were also present in the Ashokan pillar. Please remember, not only lions are present. Got it? Then next, Ashokan pillar as well as the Iranian pillars. Okay, contemporary, at that time both were contemporary. Ashokan pillars as well as the Iranian or Persian pillars. They have similarity as well as differences. Both they have similarity as well as differences. First we will discuss the similarities. What are the similarities between the Persian pillar as well as the Ashokan pillar? Right. First such similarity is polished stone. Both Iranian pillar as well as the Mauryans pillar, they use the polished stones, not rigid one, polished. Okay. And they have a motif also, lotus, bell, that were also present. Okay. Lotus were present in the Ashokan pillar as well as in Iranian pillar also, or Persian pillar also. Proclamation. So as we discussed, one of the reason for inscription or construction of the pillar was proclamation of the orders, court orders, right? So both are used for that purpose. Iranian pillars also used for proclamation of the orders. Even the Mauryans pillars were also used for proclamation of orders of the code. Okay, here in Ashoka they use for Buddhist ideology proclamation as well as the proclamation of court of orders. Now differences. If I talk about the differences, all the Iranian pillars are there, right? They are having capital figure. They are having capital figure. But regarding Mauryans pillar, Kumrahar pillar, Kumrahar, it is a place in North India, Kumrahar, their capital animal is not there or absent, we can say. So this is one difference between the Iranian pillar as well as the Mauryans pillar. Okay. Then the shape of the lotus of Ashoka or Mauryans, okay, it is totally different from the shape of Iranian pillar. Lotus shape, not the pillar shape, lotus shape. The shape of the lotus, okay, of Ashokan pillar is different from the Iranian pillar. So that is one difference. And surface of the pillar, right? So Ashokan pillars were there, right? Those are highly smooth or luxurious. Highly smooth and luxurious, those pillars. Surface of the pillar. But Iranian pillars, they are rigid. The surface of the pillars were rigid. And architectural style. So if I talk about architectural style, generally Ashokan pillars are there, right? They are independent and standalone pillars. They are independent and standalone pillars were there. But Iranian pillars are there, right? They are not the standalone pillars. They are the part of any complex structures or big buildings. Pillars will be there, na? There, okay, to give support to the ceiling, like that. That was a part of this Iranian pillars. But Ashokan pillars were not there. They were the independent and standing pillars. So that is one difference. And shaft. Okay. So Iranian pillars shaft. The height of the Iranian pillars are like 50 to 60 feet only. But those shafts are there, right? Those shafts are not monolith. That means it is not made up of a single stone. Okay. Blocks of that shaft were made and it is joined with the cementing agent. But regarding Ashoka, it is a single piece, monolith. Got it? So these are the difference between Ashokan pillar as well as the Iranian pillar. Okay, so this is about the pillar during Mauryans' time. Any doubt? No? Okay, super. So in court art we discuss palaces, then we discuss about pillars. Now we will discuss about stupas. Stupas. Okay. So what is stupa? Is the concept of stupa is began after the birth of the Buddhism or after the death of the Buddha. There is no such thing. Okay. In some books it is mentioned. Some historians, they find a reference of stupa even during Vedic time also. Even during Vedic time also there was a reference of stupas. Stupas were also present from Vedic time. Okay, so there is no such thing that stupas were present after the death of the Buddha or after the birth of the Buddhism. There is no such thing. Before the Buddhism also stupas were exist. Okay, huh?
In Vedic period, whose stupas existed?
Whose? That saint were there, huh? Those relics were used to keep. Okay, but very less in numbers. Vedic period there were no temples, but some minor stupas were found. Okay, what happened? Okay, so stupas. See the picture, then you will get to know. See, this is the shape of stupa, architecture. Here if you observe, What happened? Nothing. Here if you observe, it is a, what do you call? This anda is there, right? It is a semicircle in shape, spherical we can say. Above that one, this is anda, A and D, anda. Okay. Above that one we have a harmika. It is a railing, rectangular railing. Above anda, harmika. Above harmika it is a yasti. That stick is there, na? That is called yasti. That stick holds the 3 umbrellas. That is called chatras. These 3 chatras represent the 3 ratana of Buddhism. Dhamma, okay, Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. Right, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, right, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. Is there, na? That. So this chatras, 3 chatras, this 3 umbrella shape disc are there. Right? This represent the 3 ratanas of Buddhism. Got it? So this is the shape. And here we have a Pradikshina Pata. Okay, walkway is there. The Pradikshina Pata, na? In temples also we can find. So that is there. And it is in circular shape. These stupas are there in circular shape. And here it is having a double stairway. 2 side. Okay, that is there. And here boundary walls are there. These boundary walls are there, right? It is made up of the stones. These boundary walls are there, right? It is made up of a stones. And in this boundary walls, for 4 direction, 4 gates are there. In 4 direction, 4 gates are there. Those gates are called Torana. What it is called? Torana. The gates, they were called Toranas. Those were also made up of the stones. Got it? So this is about the structure of stupa. What is there inside the stupa? For example, in temple we have a deity idol, right? So what is there inside the stupa? Relics of Buddha. Relics of Buddha is there in the stupa. Okay? Got it? Material. What is the material they have used for construction of the stupa? So core of the stupa is made up of the unburnt bricks. Unburnt bricks. While the outer surface of the stupa, it is made up of the burnt bricks. Okay. So that is there. And for cementing agent, they use the plaster and medhi. Okay. That they have used. And torans are there, right? Torans were decorated with the wooden sculptures. Torans were not highly decorated during Mauryans' time actually. Those were started highly decorating and heavy toranas, especially during Shunga's time. Who you know, Pushyamitra Shunga. Right? Shunga's and Gupta's time. That heavy toranas were came into exist. Okay, here basic, not heavy structure. Example of stupa, Sanchi stupa we already know. In 200 note we have, right? Sanchi stupa is there in 200 note, right? Paper currency. 200 note, right? Sanchi stupa. Okay. Sanchi stupa is there in Madhya Pradesh. It is the most famous stupa. So this stupa were constructed during the time of Ashoka. This Sanchi stupa. Then Piprava stupa, Uttar Pradesh. That is the oldest stupa. That is the oldest stupa. Okay. Then many stupas are there which were built after the death, immediately after the death of the Buddha. There were nearly 9 stupas are there where relics of Buddha kept, like teeth, okay, and other clothes of the Buddhas that were kept in this stupas. Bairat stupa, Rajasthan. Bairat stupa, Rajasthan. That is the biggest stupa in the world, or grandest stupa, Bairat stupa. It is in Rajasthan. So apart from Sanchi stupa, there are many stupas. Got it? Actually, some historians made a conclusion that during the time of Ashoka, there were nearly 85,000 stupas. 85,000 stupas. But during Pushyamitra Shunga time or Shunga dynasty time, they were hardly left with the 27,000 stupas. Okay, there was an argument that Pushyamitra Shunga was there, he was Brahmin and he was totally against the Buddhism. So he just want to eradicate the Buddhism. Some historians made a conclusion But some historians made a counterpoint that if Pushyamitra Shunga want to eradicate the Buddhism, then why stupas were present at his time? In fact, he was the person who started the introduction of the heavy toranas in the stupas. Okay, so that is there. Then next, how Buddha were depicted in the stupas. How Buddhas were depicted in stupas. Okay, early time symbolized symbols. Okay, in the early stage of the development of the stupas, Buddhas were depicted in the form of symbols. Symbols like lotus, footprint of the Buddha, hollow. Okay, hope you know hollow. Right, hollow, that were their chakras. Okay, that were the symbol used in the stupa, or Buddha depicted in the symbolic way. Then next, later on, as time passes, then we can find even the Jataka stories also in the Buddhas. Jataka story, the stories related to the previous birth of Buddha. Previous birth of Buddha. So those stories are there, na? Jataka stories. So those stories that were portrayed in the railings, railings are there, na? Boundary walls railings. There those stories were portrayed, as well as in Toranas of the stupas also. There was a portrait of this Jataka stories. So certain Jataka stories are like we have the CB Jataka, Ruru Jataka, Vidhur. You can check here. These are the Jataka stories which were found in the stupas. Okay, so some chief events. I hope you remember that there are 5 chief events of Buddhas of life. Birth of Buddha, Mahabahishkramana, the Buddha when he left, Mahabahishkramana, I hope you know that. Right, birth of Buddha we have, then Mahabahishkramana, renunciation that we have, then enlightenment, nirvana, then first sermon, Dharma Chakra Pravartana, okay, then Mahaparinirvana, death. So this incident were also narrated in the stupas. Later age, first during the development of the stupa in the early age, symbolized. Then after that Jataka stories. Then even the chief event of the life of Buddhas were also started depicting in stupas. Got it? Understood? Palaces not that much importance actually. Pillars are very much important. Pillars. And even stupas also. Okay. Now next, cave architecture. Okay, individual architecture or cave architecture or popular art. Okay, it is a part of popular art. So generally, during the Mauryans times, caves were used as a viharas. Viharas. 2 things you should know: chaityas and viharas. Chaityas means prayer hall, where monk can pray. Viharas means monasteries, where monk can rest or they live or reside or stay. So during Mauryans time, these caves are there, right? Rock cut caves were there. This rock will be there, they will cut and they will create the caves. Okay, so those rock cut caves were present during the Mauryans time, and those caves were used as a viharas. Okay, yeah, they were used as a viharas. And here you can check where it is. See, this is the cave, Barabar cave, one of the cave in Barabar. Here if you observe, we have a entrance gateway and we have a arch also. Highly decorated, entrance is highly decorated, it is having a gate and it is having a arch. Okay, and here once you enter, that cave is there, right? It is in a rectangular shape. That cave, it is in rectangular shape. Okay, back side of that rectangular hall, there is a one chamber which is in a circular shape. The chambers is there which is in circular shape. Got it? That is the inside structure of this caves during the Mauryans time. Okay, so Barabar hills are there here. 7 caves or okay, 7 garva or 7 caves. So these caves are located in Jahanabad, Bihar. Jahanabad, Bihar. Out of these 7 caves, 4 caves are there, right? Those are Barabar caves. 3 caves are there, Nagarjuna caves. Okay. Ashoka, these caves are there, right? So Ashoka has donated these caves to the Ajivika sect. Ajivika sect, it is one of the sect in Jainism. Okay, Parshavanatha, 23rd Tirthankara of Jainism. Okay, he was Parshavanath. So Parshavanath has started one sect within the Jainism that is called Ajivika. Ajivika. So Ajivika monks used to live in these caves that were donated by whom? Ashoka. Then later these Nagarjuna caves were there, right? That were constructed during the time of what do you call Dashrath. Dashrath is the son of Kunal. Kunal is the son of Ashoka. That means Dashrath is the grandson of Ashoka. Got it? So this is about the caves during Mauryans' time. Sculptures. So during Mauryans' time, 2 kind of sculptures were found. Generally, most famous sculptures during the Mauryans' times were Yaksha and Yakshi. Those are the object of worship. Even in Hindus temples also you have seen the outside Garbhagraha you can find Yaksha and Yakshi. Okay, those were the object for worship. They worship, right? So that were found. And the Yaksha Yakshi which are found during Mauryans' time, it belongs to all 3 religions. During Mauryans' time there were 3 major religions. Okay, Hinduism, Jainism and Buddhism. So those Yaksha and Yakshini belongs to all 3 major religions of that time. Okay, and the mention of the Yakshi also found on the one Tamil literature text, that is Sidapadikaram. Sangam literature, Sidapadikaram. Okay, there also we can find the mention of Yakshi. Okay, apart from Yaksha Yakshi, in Patna, Lohanipur, they even found the what do you call torso of a male nude figure. That also they have found. Didarganj Yakshi, it is very famous. See this one. Yakshi, Didarganj Yakshi. Didarganj, it is one of the place in Bihar near to Patna. There that Yakshi has found. So that's why it got the name as a Didarganj Yakshi. Okay, so this is about sculptures during Mauryans' time. Pottery. Remember IVC pottery? Red and black pottery. Right. Actually, there are 2 types of pottery, plain and color. In color also 2 types, multicolor and 2 color. Okay, majority is 2 color, red and black were pottery. Red was the background color and black was the color which they used to create a design. But here the potteries of the Mauryans are totally different. It is called Nadan blacked polished ware. Black potteries were there, but those are highly polished and highly lustrous also. Highly finished, highly lustrous, shining will be there, lustrous, that were there. Okay, so generally historians made a conclusion that potteries were used for the luxury item, as in luxury item. Okay, Kosambi and Patliputra, these were the 2 centers for pottery. Kosambi and Patliputra. Okay, so this is about pottery during the time of Mauryans. Got it? Okay, so this is about Mauryans art.